White flag is raised. Off and racing in the Oak Lodge Landscapes.ie handicap chase. Just less than 2 circuits and 22 fences ahead of them. Mayo towards the inside is one of the early leaders as they go to jump the first. Heracles Westwood jumping up on the outside. Lonesome Boatman. And gone at the back of the field. Codda Harlan seated Gavin Broder as they make the turn and head for fence number 2. Lonesome Boatman towards the outside in the lead from Mayo jumping up, and Stormy Judge is gone there. Stormy Judge down at the second, and also down is Fortune de Fortunata as they run downhill on towards fence number 3, and Lonesome Boatman is the leader. From close up is Champo, also in the firing line is Outside the Door. Tracking the leaders, Your Own Story. Towards the inside with the yellow cap is Heracles Westwood as they clear number 3. Head on to the next fence before heading into the back straight. In the lead, Lonesome Boatman will rise with the lead of about 2 lengths over Your Own Story. Towards the outside is Outside the Door. With them on the inside, Mayo. The blue and white halved colours, Dreaming Blue, is improved to join that leading group. Outside the Door around the outside. And they're followed on into the back straight to the first of 3 fences as Lonesome Boatman continues to show the way, closely followed now by Your Own Story with El Champo. Outside the Door is in touch towards the outside. Behind him, Dreaming Blue. Mayo is towards the inner, the white cap. Wide of the main group is Shanbally Kid as they go to the middle fence on the far side. Lonesome Boatman, narrow leader from El Champo. Outside the Door towards the outside. Dreaming Blue with them towards the inner with Your Own Story, and then Mayo. Run Wild Fred is improved. Also improving is the Gradual Slope as they jump the ditch at the end of the back straight. At the back of the field, Brandt is a few lengths adrift as they exit the back straight and head for the first of the fences on the approach to the straight. Lonesome Boatman with El Champo on the outside. Dreaming Blue is there on the inner. Outside the Door, Your Own Story and Mayo are next, and they're followed across by Run Wild Fred, the Gradual Slope. Between horses in the yellow and blue colours, Answer to Cafe as they come to jump the first of the 2 fences. That'll bring them across to the straight and away from it. El Champo jumped up on the outside. Lonesome Boatman towards the inner. Keen between horses is Dreaming Blue, and they're followed across by Outside the Door as they come to the fence before the straight. El Champo, Dreaming Blue, the leading pair. Lonesome Boatman to the inside with Outside the Door, Your Own Story. Behind them, the Gradual Slope. Answer to Cave getting closer. Run Wild Fred is next on the outside in an orange cap. They're followed in by Mayo. Around the inside, behind them, is From the Ashes as they head up the straight. 2 fences before they pass the judge and have to do it all again. Out in front, El Champo with towards the inside, Lonesome Boatman. Dreaming Blue in the blue and white colours in the centre. Close up behind them, the grey and white of Outside the Door is improved. The Gradual Slope, the grey tracks them towards the inner with Mayo as they clear the fence before the stands, last one after a circuit. Sharing the lead, El Champo and Dreaming Blue from Lonesome Boatman. Alongside Lonesome Boatman is Your Own Story. Then Outside the Door, Answer to Cafe and the Gradual Slope and Mayo. Widest of all, Shanbally Kid. With them, with the orange cap, is Run Wild Fred as they continue on to fence number 12. Yeah Man is in mid-division, ahead of towards the inside Mayo. The second grey is Duffel Coat, and towards the inside in the middle of the field is Heracles Westwood. As they head away to the turn, it'll bring them to the fence at the top of the track. El Champo leads Lonesome Boatman, but only narrowly, to Dreaming Blue with Your Own Story close as they go to jump this fence. El Champo Lonesome Boatman the inside, Dreaming Blue, Your Own Story. Answer to Cave has improved just behind him towards the outside in blue and yellow colours as they run downhill with 9 fences to jump in the Oak Lodge Landscapes.ie handicap chase. El Champo, Dreaming Blue. Towards the inside is Lonesome Boatman. On their heels, outside the door, also tracking them, Your Own Story, and they're followed by Answer to Cave, the gradual slope. A bit closer with the white cap. Hastings has made a little headway in mid-division. Shanbally Kid continues widest of all as they head away from that fence and on to the next, the one before heading into the back straight. El Champo, Lonesome Boatman back up on the inside. Dreaming Blue is with them. Outside the door next, slight mistake there, Answer to Cave. Tracking the leaders and improving is From the Ashes. Alongside From the Ashes is Your Own Story. Towards the inner, Heracles Westwood creeping into contention as they head down the back straight with 7 fences to jump. El Champo with a narrow lead as they jump. And El Champo, Lonesome Boatman the inside. Close up on the outside is Outside the Door with Dreaming Blue. Your Own Story. Heracles Westwood towards the inner. Alongside that one, as they go to jump the middle fence, is From the Ashes. Coming away from that fence, they have 5 to jump. And El Champo, still a narrow leader to Lonesome Boatman. Close up in third is Dreaming Blue. Your Own Story making headway just behind them as they jump that fence. From the Ashes is chasing them. Yeah Man creeping into it, also trying to make headway again is Answer to Cave. Shanbally Kid remains in touch, but widest of all behind them as they make the far turn. Creeping into it is Another Choice with Yeah Man just ahead of that one as they turn, head across with 4 to jump. El Champo, Lonesome Boatman towards the inside, towards the outer. Outside the door is just behind them as they come to jump this one. And away from it, outside the door has come through. Shanbally Kid up on the outside. Lonesome Boatman and El Champo just behind them. Answer to Cave. And they're chased across by Your Own Story as they come to jump the third last. Outside the door with Shanbally Kid on the wide outside. Lonesome Boatman is just behind them. Coming through is Your Own Story. Just behind them, Answer to Cave stays on, but as they make the turn, Shanbally Kid has come across and taken the lead. From outside the door in second, Lonesome Boatman staying on down the inside. Behind these is From the Ashes, but heading for the second last. Shanbally Kid towards the near side leads. Outside the door, From the Ashes is over towards the inner. This trio ahead of Answer to Cave and then Lonesome Boatman between the last 2 fences, and Shanbally Kid travelling strongly out in front. Outside the door second, From the Ashes third as they come to jump the last. Shanbally Kid is over and clear. Outside the door second, back in third is From the Ashes. Lonesome Boatman back and forth. But Shanbally Kid and Danny Mullins winning it easily. It's a 13th of the week for Willie Mullins. Shanbally Kid by a wide margin from outside the door